Hello, Thrive Loud listeners. At Thrive Loud, we are always connecting you, the listener, with amazing leaders that are thriving in their lives, their businesses, and their passions. We also have had hundreds of thriving women that have been featured on this podcast. Continuing this important effort, Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, Success.com, and Clubhouse have joined together to create a special series called Elevating the Brilliant Minds of Women. You'll get a chance to learn about these incredible initiatives of women across the globe, hear about how they are thriving, and how you can connect with them today. Enjoy this amazing conversation, and after the episode, learn more about this powerful initiative.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have a social media guru and the founder of the High Impact Happiness brand because she loves working with businesses who create huge impact in the world, and she wants to make them happy while they're running their business. She also is the founder of the Magical Creators Community. She is all about helping you get more clients and more profit via social media. Part of our continuing series, we are doing Elevating the Brilliant Minds of Women. Thrive Loud listeners, Inga Deksne. How did I do on the last name there, Inga?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lou.
So, Inga, you're coming to me from the UK, correct?
Absolutely, yes. However, if you can hear, I'm not British.
So share with the listeners what you are.
I'm Latvian. I came from small Baltic country, Latvia, and I moved to London 13 years ago.
13?
Only because,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say I moved to London because I fell in love with London. It felt like my soul place.
It's a great city. I do like it. So you do some interesting work. I think our listeners would love to hear, first of all, how this became your journey and the thing you focused on most, because it's a pretty cool world you work in. And I think we'll dive in deep, but I want to hear how it became your gig.
Okay, so I always dreamt about having my own business, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think only when I came to London, it enabled me. So I needed to come to London in order to be able to become a coach or even to discover coaching as a concept. Because in Latvia back then, 13 years ago, it wasn't even known. And even now, when it has been introduced, but mentality, you're not going to a stranger to talk about your problems or trying to solve something with a stranger. You talk to your friends and you complain about your life, and they say, here, everything will be okay. Whereas coach challenges you. And go on.
No, so you focused on coaching, but then you kind of also spun it into another avenue, right?
Yes. So it started with the coaching because I was fascinated with the concept that you can help by asking questions, not by giving advice, but by asking questions. And I still use this concept even when I consult people or I mentor them. However, I find it easier to tell them what to do with their social media presence. But I encompass everything into the mix when I work with my clients now.
Okay, so this is pretty cool. So you're not only providing them execution on how they can get their brand and more visible via all the social media channels, but you're also using some of those coaching skills. I guess this is where that high impact happiness to make sure that they're happy doing what they're doing, correct?
Absolutely. And I pick up on their fear. I've noticed that I can create the best social media plan for a client, but they stall implementing the process. They agree like these activities will be good, but they don't execute. And I've realized that there is something inside them that prevents from moving forward. And one of them is fear of visibility. So we're working on that as well. It's fear of judgment. And here coaching comes into place as well.
So this is actually really interesting because this is important, right? Obviously, to grow your social media presence, you do have to be aware that your presence is going to be shared with the world. So can you give some examples maybe about how you, a situation maybe where you helped someone move through that fear into courage and utilizing the work that you're doing? Because I think that's actually a good combination and something that many people probably aren't even aware of.
Yes, so I allow them to have a safe space within the Magical Creators group. For instance, people are afraid of making mistakes publicly when they do Facebook live stream. And no matter how much you know about how to do live stream, you need to do it in order to get better. So we start small with providing them option to go in a safe place and being comfortable making mistakes. I also go on Facebook Lives with them together, and I support them as well. So it's just giving this opportunity for them to understand that they are safe. And also what I teach them to put their clients first. It's not about their fear, it's about people who they're meant to serve.
Inga, I'm curious. So help me understand, help the listeners get a better idea of who you're helping, what type of clients you're digging with that are trying to expand their brand. What type of businesses maybe is your niche that you work with?
Yeah, so it's intuitive entrepreneurs, and majority of them are energy workers, healers, who are brilliant at what they do. I have clients who, for instance, doctors couldn't help ladies to conceive the baby, but because it was required to work with energy, with traumas and going through that process, she's able to help them to have family. But she's not really good about talking about what she can do or how to market herself. And as a result, so people are suffering who could benefit from her services. So, and I want to work with those people who bring the healing, who make this world a better place. Maybe it's a cliche phrase, but they're brilliant at what they do. They heal, they work with your deepest layers that are not known to you, but they are really bad at creating business because they don't know, because they also have fears, because they don't want to come across salesy. And I help them to understand that selling is serving, that they need to talk about their services in an authentic way.
I like it. I also like the fact that here we are featuring and elevating the brilliant minds of women on this joint program here with success.com. And you're doing that every day with your clients. It's you feel, I assume most of your clients fall under women in that energy space. I imagine there's men too, but most are women. Okay.
Yes.
What do you feel right now is one of the bigger challenges for your clients? And I'm making this specifically about social media itself. We connected, I know, on the Clubhouse network, and that's actually where we connected, a new channel, relatively new channel at the time we're recording this. And there's lots of different ways that people are connecting, which makes someone like yourself constantly have to be on her toes on how to balance this for your clients. What do you see as some of the challenges within the space so that maybe your clients have a real good focus on what works best for them?
I think it's overwhelmed with technology. A lot of my clients could benefit from Clubhouse, but I can see that some of them registered because I insisted, and I kind of nudged them that they need to be on Clubhouse. At the same time, I can see that they're not using it. And partially it's because they are afraid that it will take over their lives. They couldn't cope with constant demand. And Clubhouse is challenging, pinging all the invitations to go into various rooms. And it's about having systems in place. This is something that I teach them as well. So it's how to be strategic around using new technology and also not to miss out. And I can envision that it's a process involved, and some of my clients jumped into the Clubhouse and welcomed it and embraced it and really elevated their business presence. Some of them are still a little bit shy. And technology is a crippling point for many spiritual entrepreneurs, intuitives. Yeah. They feel, or this is the stories that they tell themselves, that they're not good at technology.
Yeah. You're hitting something really interesting that I think is something that is so challenging. One of the things that we've learned here on this program is you have to pick a couple of lanes, even as it relates to social media. And for our show, we've laser focused mostly on LinkedIn and Instagram, more for marketing images and for the business clients we're serving. And obviously you have a lot of clients in the Facebook realm, but there's only so much you can do and spread it out, across the different channels. And obviously new ones keep popping up every day. From your work, Inga, how do you plan and help your clients maybe incorporate all the different channels that are out there? Or maybe more importantly, do you have a certain formula that works best for your specific space?
Sure. I usually suggest that they start with one or maximum two platforms. And yes, when you look at the influencers, they are everywhere, and you kind of think you need to be everywhere as well, but it's impossible. And what I usually suggest is creating presence on one platform and build a system around it so it works like a clockwork for you. And if you want to expand on other platforms, you deal with one platform first, and then you replicate the process on another platform. And usually you choose which you are drawn to. Mm-hmm. So it's either Facebook or Instagram, but it's not because, it's a new platform, let me try to be there as well. If you don't have a system, new platform won't help.
Yeah, you're right. And I think, it's don't spread yourself too thin. Less is more, and figure out which one works best for you and your audience, which I think is maybe the most important piece. Where they know to find you is probably just as important as seeing you everywhere. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, Inga, let's pull back the curtain a little bit, because look, you've been doing this now for 9 some odd years as an entrepreneur, and growing your business and being a guru for those that are out there. And on most days, you're probably thriving, and more notably, helping your clients thrive. But Inga, we all have days when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Inga, when you have trouble thriving, what practice do you seek, or individual you seek out, to get yourself back on the thriving track?
It's usually my friends, and you met some of them on Clubhouse as well. And one of them you already interviewed, Melanie Moore.
Oh, okay. She was awesome. We had a great conversation. I liked it. And in your town, in your neck of the woods.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's either Melanie or Gail Edwards. I know that you've connected with her on Clubhouse as well. So they are my go-to people, because, and equally, when they need pick me up, I will be there for them. So, and this is collaboration where, yes, they can feel for you, but most importantly, they will look past through your moment of poor me, and they will lift you up and see that whatever is happening for you is for your own good.
I like that. And I'm sure it's really funny. A lot of people have clients that they really grow great connections with and become really good friends, and it helps to grow their business. And it's also a trusted network on both sides. That's great to have that type of connection. So go you, Inga. I like that. Let's do this right now. Let's do the admin part of the show, Inga. Share with the listeners all the places people can find you, learn about your services, learn about your groups. We will put it all in the show notes, but it always gets more engagement when they hear it directly from you.
Sure. And I have 2 brands, and one you mentioned, High Impact Happiness. This is where it's like overarching brand. And if you can find me on highimpacthappiness.com, where I'm making my effort to be more prolific blog writer at the moment. And my other brand, magicalcreators.live, is for my clients. It's a hub for healers, intuitive entrepreneurs, coaches who want to grow visibility. It's a business growth platform for intuitive entrepreneurs. We have membership, but we also have events where we combine energy, healing, business strategies, and mindset practices. And I don't know whether anywhere else this combination exists at the events. So it's an event where transformation is inevitable.
I like it. Inga, permission to go down Fun Street here on Thrive Loud.
Okay.
All right. Inga, I'm looking at our show notes here because this is pretty interesting, mostly because of your background, but I'm fascinated by this. Can you share with the listeners your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, it's The Theory of Everything.
Okay. And why does that movie connect so much with you?
Because funnily enough, like the world of physics, it's not my favorite subject. And I don't know how I ended up watching that movie, but I was fascinated by the story in the movie where, despite being dealt like a very unfavorable condition, so how story of Stephen Hawking was that he overcame, despite like being in most unfortunate position, he not only overcame, but he was great at living his life. So he was actually thriving. And this is a movie that touched me a lot, how it was made. It was beautifully made, and also how it made me think. But it's also the movie I can't watch for the second time because I was so impressed the first time.
I like it. It is a good one, and he's a spectacular actor. So played a tough role to play in that.
Absolutely.
All right, so Inga, we're going to do the speed round here in Fun Street. And the way this works is I'm going to ask you something, and I want the first thing that pops into your head. Okay. These are things that lift you up, that make you feel good, that motivate you, that make you thrive. Ready to rock and roll?
Okay, yes.
I love how they all get nervous, and you shouldn't be nervous. You help your clients all the time get positive on this. Come on, Inga. Okay. A song that you love to hear or that motivates you?
The Hall of Fame by The Script.
Oh,
because
I love that.
Everyone will know my name eventually.
A favorite food that is not a dessert?
Oh, sushi.
Okay.
Actually, I can eat sushi every day and for breakfast as well.
A favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert, panna cotta.
An activity you wish you did more of?
Dancing.
Oh, an activity you wish you did less of?
Watching Netflix.
Inga, if you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, where are you?
New York.
Ah, you're my hometown, Inga. You picked it.
I've never been there. It's my soul city.
Well, Inga, we're going to have to bring you across, when this pandemic settles down a little bit, I think you got to come over and check out NYC. I think it'll give you a new feeling about London. That's for sure.
Right. It's real.
Inga Deksne, thank you so much for coming on Thrive Loud. This has been great. Amazing to continue this program about elevating brilliant women in the world. And thanks again for everything that you do. And thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
Thanks for listening to this special episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, brought to you by Success.com and Thrive Loud. To learn more about this great program and elevating the brilliant minds of women, head on over to thriveloud.com or Success.com. And make sure to follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media to learn more about this special series. Thanks for listening.